As a young boy growing up, I was told that to whom much is given, much is required. However, it's always the people that come out of nothing, that come out of nowhere, that end up coming back to give much of themselves. Today, we get to chat to one of South Africa's most decorated and most loved and most inspirational human being. She calls herself the one that will fly. I call her an amazing woman. I guess for today's Dumisani Chauke, we get to speak to her about exactly who she is, where she comes from, and why she does the things that she does. Dumisani, a very good morning and welcome to Conversations with Nnusi.
Hi, Nnusi. Thank you for having me and for that wonderful intro.
It's only a pleasure. I mean,
Yeah.
Dumisani, we know you as this giant, that I'm using giant in a very respectable way, but a person who has really cemented a place in the business, somebody who is loved by many. But before we get to understand exactly who this humongous and big personality Dumisani is, I want to understand. So who's Dumisani and where are you from?
Dumisani is this giant sitting here. Number one. Number two, Dumisani Chauke was born in a small township of Malamulele down in Limpopo. I grew up playing sports, playing in the streets. I didn't have the fancy phones, didn't have the fancy facilities. So all I had was my sport, and that's how I got to keep myself busy. I was, the girl that you would find running around with the boys riding bicycles, playing soccer, kicking stones, playing with bricks, playing with the alley
Yeah.
marbles, climbing trees, climbing fences, and running around. And that is how I grew up. I guess people always say you have so much energy, and I'm like, yeah, the more energetic I get or the more energy I expand, the more my body produces energy. And I had to find avenues to let all that energy out, and being active was one of those. And hence the sport part came in, because sport was more structured as compared to climbing trees and fences and running around chasing dogs, goats, chickens, whatever you could find, we would chase. So yeah, that's me. That's how I grew up.
And I mean, growing up in the dust streets of Malamule, I mean, as any other young child or young person, you had your own dreams and ambitions of what you wanted to become. What did you want to become growing up?
So first and foremost, I used to watch a lot of sport on Saturdays. Most of the time, if I didn't play my own sport, I'd wake up in the morning, help my dad wash the cars, and we would then sit and watch soccer. I mean, back then it used to be Iwisa Kaiser Chiefs.
Yeah.
That is where I started loving Kaiser Chiefs. I still love them. They're not winning, but I still love them. So I would watch these people play sport on TV, and I'm like, I play sport. Why can't I be on TV? And then reality would hit and come back that. But listen, people from here don't appear on TV.
Yeah.
Who are you to even imagine that? Who are you to even think that you could be a Dr. Kumalo, a Lucas Khatebe, a Brian Baloyi? Back then when he had the blonde dreadlocks.
Yeah.
And it was always just a dream. And I guess subconsciously I shelved it. I put it away. And yeah, eventually one day something somewhere out there in the universe orchestrated stuff and things came together. That's how we're here today.
So sport has been something that's been in your blood. I mean, based on what you're telling me, that you grew up watching TV, watching sport with your dad on TV, playing, kicking the balls with boys and playing sport. So, how did I mean? We know you as a netballer, whether you're a coach or whether you're as a former player. How did netball come about? Was it your first love, or was it other things that you were doing, and then, like many other people that I've spoken to, netball happened by accident? Was it the same for you, or was it a different conversation?
It was the same for me. Netball found me. Actually, not ball didn't find me. It stole me.
Yeah.
So, in primary school at Magangeni Primary School in Malamulele, I still visit the school now and then. I started off playing basketball. I played football, volleyball, softball, whatever sporting activity they introduced to us is to keep us busy. I played it. Anything but netball. I always share this story, so those that do know the story will already start laughing. So one day, one of the girls didn't pitch, and they were playing a netball game that afternoon. Her name is Precious. I remember Precious Mahunzi. She didn't pitch that day, and so my basketball teacher, Miss Matebola, asked me, "Listen, I know you don't play netball. Just come and help us out for the day. You're nice and tall. All you have to do is post up like you do in basketball. You just stand, white base, arms up in the air, and we will put the ball in your hand. You just
Okay.
turn around and you shoot. I'm like, where is the backboard?
Yeah.
No, there's no backboard. I'm like, can I drop step? Can I dribble? No. I'm like, but how do I turn my body from facing there when I receive the ball to facing there and then shooting this ball in and there's no backboard? Like, how's this sport? They're like, no, but that's the trick. Just try it. You'll see. Okay, cool. I was quite tall. I think I was the tallest in the school, probably the tallest on the court as well.
Yeah.
A ball came down, and I got so anxious. And then eventually stuck my hands up. They put the ball in my hand. I fumbled, and I'm like, but how in the world am I supposed to turn around if I can't even dribble or drop step? Pivot. Okay, how do I do that on what? I'm like, whatever. They called me for footwork the first time. Second time, I'm like, okay, maybe I need to put one leg grounded so that I can pivot on that foot and turn around and shoot. Okay, did that. First shot I missed. I'm like, you see, I can't do this thing. They're like, no, don't worry. The ball is gonna keep coming. Okay, ball came again. Took my first shot, and I was like, that was nice. Maybe this is a sport I can add onto my list. And that is how my love-hate relationship with netball started. And I call it love-hate because basketball is still my first love, but netball stole me from basketball.
And how old were you when this happened?
I was about 9, 10.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So that then netball steals you from your first love, which is basketball. Netball steals you from any other sporting activity that you were participating in as a child growing up. Did you then see yourself wearing the green and gold? Did you see yourself playing, for the national team as a Proteas player?
Well, initially when I started, I was still in Malamulele, and then my parents decided to pursue a better life, and we moved to the city. We moved to Polokwane.
Mm-hmm.
When I got there, I think then the program S2E1 which was on SABC was airing, and there you would see Abo Manzo, I would see Ndi, Lana Krefe, Karen Fenter, Martha. Manzo, those old players playing, and then they would be the intro of the show, and they're playing around with the ball. I'm like, I like this thing. This thing makes sense. Initially, the green and gold was a far-fetched dream. It was what we call a wild dream. Just a dream that you have as a kid, and you imagine yourself on TV. You imagine yourself wearing green and gold, singing Kofi Sikelele, and you always say to yourself, but it doesn't happen to kids like me. Yes, I had that dream, but in the back of my mind, I always told myself, it doesn't happen to kids like me.
Dumisani, I want to chat to you about because I think what you've just spoken about, it doesn't happen to kids like me. Sets the tone for what I want to speak to you about, and that is really the importance of philanthropy, number one. Secondly, it's about having people that are brave enough to believe in a young girl or young boy from Malamulele, from Guangoa, from any other rural place of South Africa that you can find yourself in. Do you think because in your head you never imagined yourself to be where you were at that particular time, that this almost planted a seed in your head to say, I will do whatever it takes to get to the point where I dream beyond my wildest imagination? Did you ever think to yourself, yes, I've seen Abo Manzo and Martha on TV, and I want to be like them one day, even though it never happens to kids from my hood? Was that the driving force that led you to working as hard as you did then, and still currently work as hard as you do?
Well, definitely, Nnusi. I mean, when you look at something and you so much want to be it, but you don't know how, you don't know the how, the where, the when, it definitely becomes something that, yes, you want to achieve it, but also there's that doubt that maybe not. Because I've never heard of any kid from Malamulele being on TV. I've never heard of any kid from Malamulele wearing the green and gold. So why you? But then my stubborn personality then switches it around and like, why the hell not you? And then that's when the Virgo comes out. You say I can't get it, we're going to get it. I will show you and we'll take a couple of pictures at it. So yes, it was a far-fetched dream, and I think it started becoming a reality when I got to high school at Capricorn. Cecilia was actually my coach at Capricorn.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Cecilia and Valerie were my coaches at Capricorn. And I mean, initially when I started in grade 8, when we went to the first trials of the school, I got there and I made the D team. I didn't make the A, didn't make the B, didn't
Nor
make
the
the
C.
C. I made the D team. I was like, maybe we are not that good at this thing. Let's go back to basketball. I tried to go back to basketball. They didn't have basketball for girls. Miss Draco was there. She was a basketball coach. She just told me, listen, if you want to play basketball, you're gonna have to play with the guys. The girls here don't play basketball. They play netball. I'm like, yeah, but netball, I'm in the D team. I'm like, okay, it's fine, whatever. There we go again. So that became a driving force for me. I'm like, okay, I'm in the D team. By the end of the season, I'm gonna make the A team, and that's exactly how it went. Eventually, 2002, was representing Limpopo at USASA schools, and I was chosen in the SE under 16 team, and that is when that dream came back. Like, oh yeah, I remember back then when you were in Malamuleli, you thought these things don't happen to kids like you.
Yeah.
Look at you now.
So at the age of 16 or younger than 16, you then you then don your green and gold for the first time officially. This is a dream that you had, 7 years ago, that you never thought was possible. So maybe let's fast forward to, so from under 16, what happened? Where did you go and how did you end up, playing for the senior nationals?
Okay, so under 16, I was 2002, went to Mozambique, won gold, came back great. Following year, under 17, I was in matric, again made the AC under 17 team, went out to Rustenburg because South Africa was hosting those games in that year. 2003, we won gold again, and then I then got a sports bursary or netball bursary to go to. Back then it was called PE Tech, Port Elizabeth Technikon.
Nelson Mandela
Then
University.
became Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University, and recently became Nelson Mandela University. Yeah, so even when I was that side, I played for Nelson Mandela University. I played for Eastern Province, played for Eastern Cape. Started at the bottom, under 19s, under 21s, got into the senior teams, and I made the squad. I think for the first time in 2009 in PE, when Eastern Province won the SPAR National Championships. We won all three sections: A section, B section, C section, and all the top accolades came to our team. I was I think top shooter or best goal shooter of the tournament or something like that. Yeah.
So so clearly winning has always been the thing. Under 17, under 16 you won gold, under 17 you won gold. You then go to Nelson Mandela University, your province or your region wins all the gold medals at that particular time. So from being a player to being a coach, the transition, how and why and when did it happen?
Okay, so initially when I got to PE, when I was studying sport management, one of the requirements for the course was that you had to do practical hours, be it as an administrator, as a coach, as a volunteer at a sporting federation or at a school. So I started coaching. I remember then Miss Jenny Sharp, she's still coaching now. She assisted me as well in my coaching career. She would help us get like the coaching jobs at the schools. So I started coaching the primary school at Erica with her, where we were teaching like 8, 9-year-olds how to catch and pass, how to stop, how to change direction. Every 5 minutes. Can I please go to the loo? Can I please blow my nose? Can I have a sip of water? My finger hurts. My leg hurts. That taught me a lot of patience in coaching. And I guess if you can't handle them there, you will not be able to handle them there. So that's where my coaching career started. I mean, I graduated from primary schools. I went to high school. From high school, I then went to Nelson Mandela University, where I was already a player in the A section, but I started coaching the D reserves, and then I would graduate to the D, C reserve, C, and then I guess my coach then, Lana Kriche, just realized and saw the passion I had for coaching, and then she started mentoring me and assisting me in getting my SA Level 1. We did our SA Level 2 together as well in 2012, and then I guess she was preparing me because she needed to take a break from coaching. So 2012, 2013, I started being a player coach, and then 2014, when she decided to take the break, I then stepped in as head coach of Madira's 2014 and 2015, both at USA Championships and Varsity Netball.
Dumisani, I want to chat to you about then in the midst of all of these things, you then see the importance or the need to start the Dumisani Chauke Netball Foundation. Was this started purely because of your own personal experiences, or was it started because you saw a need in society, in the community that you wanted to fulfill?
A bit of both. Um, a bit of both in the sense that I could see how many young black girls that are talented sitting in villages and townships, number one, do not have a mentor,
Okay.
do not have people coming back and reaching out and wanting to bring them along and assisting them on their journey. Um, so I think the foundation was created in 2017 actually, and the slogan is empowering young girls. And we empower young girls by teaching them netball skills. So we host netball clinics for free in disadvantaged areas where we teach these girls, or we help them polish up their netball skills so that one day they can make a provincial team and be able to apply to a university and get a netball bursary because of their netball skills.
Mm.
Number two, we empower them through life skills sessions. I've actually lost count on how many athletes, not necessarily just netball, but how many athletes in general that are brilliant, that are good, but because they lack the necessary life skills, the emotional and psychological support, they end up messing up their own lives and they lose out on such great opportunities because they were not taught, or no one took the time to sit them down and talk to them and say, listen, yes, you are good at on the court, but you need to know how to manage yourself, manage your time, how to communicate, how to be confident. You need to know how to um, plan and organize and be able to follow through on your plans and stuff like that. Because yes, these kids have big dreams, but they think it will just happen or it will be given to them on a silver platter.
Yeah.
No one is going back and saying, listen, yes, I'm here today. Yes, you see me on TV. Yes, it looks glamorous. It is not. The work that I put in at night when I'm supposed to be sleeping is the work that has helped me to get it. But I'm not always going to speak about that because
Yeah.
that you don't see.
Yes.
You only see this. And
The
you
end
think it's
product,
easy.
yes.
Yeah, and you think it's easy. So we need to start teaching our kids. Like, I mean, my heart broke the other day when that article came out on Luvo. Such a great talent, and now he's got a 4-year ban because of drugs.
Yeah. I
Doesn't
mean,
make sense.
I always speak about, it's for me, it's always inspirational to see people that have gone through hell coming back, holding buckets of water, to help those that are still going through the fight. And I think what you speak about is exactly that because you've gone through all of these things, you don't want a younger Dumisani, to walk through the same steps that you went through.
Yeah.
And this is testament to the work that you do with the foundation and the many players that I've spoken to, that have spoken highly of you, that I would rather go play for Dumisani Chauke as a coach than play anywhere else, and not because of anything, but because she understands me, she understands where I come from, and she's able to relate to the things that I'm going through. So fast forward 2 years later, so you started foundation in 2017. 2019, you then get appointed as an assistant coach to the senior national team. Was it something that you were working towards? Has it always been part of your plan, as a coaching plan? Was it something that just happened by chance?
Um, you know what? I think sometimes, some dreams scare you so much that you don't even speak about them.
Okay.
But your subconscious knows.
Yeah.
You put it out to the universe and you say, listen, I'll be okay if it happens. I'll be okay if it doesn't. It was a pleasant surprise. Pleasant surprise because, again, when it happened, I was like, wait, hold up. These things don't happen to kids like me. Like, wait.
Yeah.
So this kid from Malamulele, you are thinking or you are appointing her and you are saying that she's worthy to coach the national team. Wow, that's a great honor. So at first I was taken aback, but I guess it was in the process because we were being mentored by Norma, myself, Jenny, I think Zanella was there, and Dorette. We were being mentored so that when her contract eventually ends and then she goes back to Australia, South African coaches can then take over. It was just an honor for me to be able to be given the opportunity to serve the sport that has given me so many opportunities to serve the country through netball, and it's something that I don't take lightly. I don't take for granted.
And, and I think, Dumisani, your first, I was there when you announced as the assistant coach, and surprisingly, 7 days later, we were in Cape Town together, and you then you coached your first tournament as an assistant coach, and you guys were 10 out of 10. after 2 year absence, or after a decade absence, you then came back and claimed your position as African champions. So how was that experience for you? Consider that you were appointed 7 days early, and then you had 5 days to put together to put the team together, and we can't even speak about what happened behind the scenes the day before the tournament started.
So funny enough, Nnusi, in 2009 or 2010, I can't remember. When I was in the national squad, I didn't make the SPAR Protea team. I made the SA18. Yeah, I was in the squad, and we traveled to Tanzania.
Yep.
And we played African champs, and we won.
That was the last time.
That was the last time.
Yes.
Yeah, African champs happened. 2010. 2010. No. 2010 or 2009?
2009.
It was 2009, yeah. And Dorette and Prof were the coaches there, and we came back with a gold. And it was just an amazing experience that 10 years later, I am now wearing the green and gold.
On the other side.
On the other side, not even on the court, on the coaching staff. And we go and we win African champs. It was an amazing feeling. I can't even put it to words.
Dumisani, in my introduction, I spoke about how you are, highly decorated, and I spoke about how you are inspirational because your story on its own. I mean, I'm trying to hold back the tears here. It's becoming a difficult exercise. But I spoke about how inspirational you are, and I spoke about how highly decorated you are. We've seen you flying through, and I'm using the word flying through, because your hashtag, one of your many hashtags is "She Will Fly." Right?
Yeah.
And this for me is a dream that a 7-year-old Dumisani had. That she will one day fly. Yeah. It doesn't happen to kids from her village, but she will definitely fly.
Yeah.
You recently got appointed, amongst the many accolades that you have, as one of the Laureus ambassadors. How? What happened? And how are you feeling about all of this?
Nnusi. I don't know. I got an email last year from, I think, Laureus South Africa, and they said to me they heard about me, they've been following me. Can I please send through my CV, my profile, and the work that I'm doing through the foundation?
Yeah.
I'm like, who are these people?
So
I've heard about Laureus, so I know that they do is Laureus Sports for Good. They do some great charity work, and then before I sent the information, went onto my computer. I'm like, oh, you want my profile?
A girl from Malamule.
I know. I'm like, yeah, you want my profile? Are you sure you got the right person? They're like, yes. Please send your information. I sent the information. I didn't hear from them for quite a while because I then understood that it then goes the profile then goes through a process of approval from South Africa to the board, to the global board. It's quite a process, and then eventually when they do approve, they come back and they say yes, that's confirmed. We will announce you officially. When that happened, I think it was last year or early this year, I can't remember. I was like, wait, what? Are you telling me that you're about to add my name to all those superstars that are listed on your website? He said yes. Okay, here's another one. That kid from Malamulele keeps doing things that you could never imagine. I mean, when you see some of these things, Nnusi, you can only dream or just imagine yourself, but then you shelve it and you put it away. You're like, Lena, I would love to. Me too, one day. But you don't take it serious and you just put it away. And then when it happens, you're like, oh, wow.
Somebody pinch me. Yeah.
Wait, it's happening.
Yeah.
This is it. It's happening. So, yeah, amongst, like you said, all these recent appointments and accolades that have been coming, I think one thing that keeps me grounded is not forgetting that I'm actually human.
Yeah. I mean, I keep referencing players that I've spoken to, and one of the things that you've done that not a lot of us know about is the fact that during lockdown, when everybody was home worrying about their own safety or worrying about their well-being and their health, you decided to go and buy a house with the dream of building a netball complex for young girls who who can afford to stay Korese, or who can afford to pay for accommodation whilst they're studying. You decided, me, Dumisani Chauke, girl from Malomon, will go and buy a house, and I'm going to take these kids in. I get, in my head, I get the why, but what is the thing that pushed you to a point where you said, I'm going to take money out of my own pocket. I could be spending this money buying a new car.
I actually wanted a new car, but it's okay.
Yeah. So why did you decide that it was important for you to go buy a house to accommodate netball players specifically?
Number one, I always worry about the safety of my girls.
Okay.
I believe, if you take care of the girls of the court and they don't have to worry about transport, accommodation, food, and being able to be at training on time and stuff like that, then they're able to focus in class, they're able to focus on the court and achieve what they want to achieve. So it has always been a dream of mine to have a complex where athletes, and not necessarily just netball players, where athletes can come in, stay there, feel safe, feel at home, and be surrounded by other athletes. Nothing disturbs an athlete more than staying with someone who's not an athlete and they don't understand the sacrifices, they don't understand the strictness of the rules that are there, because the rules are there to safeguard them, to make sure that they come in, they play their sport, they study. After 3 or 4 years, they get out with a piece of paper that no one will ever take away from them. And that is the dream that I've always had, and that is a dream I have for all my girls that come in at TVT. Those that do get space and in the reses on campus, great, because I don't have to worry about them. They just walk to training, and those that don't, those are the ones that I worry about, because I don't want them to go too far. It becomes a bit of a schlep, especially if you're training until night. Yeah, then they're not as safe. So the house is less than a kilometer walk from the campus. They literally walk to class, walk to training, and they walk together as a group with the soccer girls back to the complex, to the house.
Sure, things that I can chat to you for the whole day, and I don't think you and I will ever finish. But if, I mean, at some point you will need to, hang up your boots. You need to get off the stage and switch off the lights. What would you like for, what is your value proposition? Meaning, what is that one thing that you want all of us to remember you by? So if we're sitting in a room and somebody says Dumisani Chauke and Dumisani Chauke is not in the room, what is that one thing that you want all of us in the room to remember you by, or remember you for?
The girl who wasn't afraid to chase her dreams.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, not at all. Not afraid. Not afraid of failure. Not afraid of someone saying no to me. Not afraid of falling. Not afraid of getting injured. I've gotten injured a million times. I've fallen a million times. I've failed a million times, and that is why I keep succeeding.
And what would you tell your younger self? If you were to look in the mirror and see a younger self, or a younger version of yourself, what would you tell yourself?
Don't worry too much what people think.
Sure. So to the point. Dumisani, I think your story has been very inspirational. It continues to be inspirational for all of us. Whether you're a netball player or you're a human being, like all of us are, your story remains inspirational. Your story is one that says to all of us that it's possible. Your story continues to say to us, it doesn't matter what happens. Yeah. It doesn't matter where you come from. All things are possible. And your resume is very long. Like I said, you and I could sit here and speak the whole day, and I'll never run out of things to say.
Yeah.
But in conclusion, I'd like to say to you, may your star continue rising. May your wings grow stronger, and may you continue to fly. May you continue to teach others, and may you continue to feed others, as you've been doing. And this, I'm not talking about food. I'm talking about feeding all of us, through the work that you do, feeding all of us through the inspirational life that you lead, feeding all of us in the way in which you protect all of us, and you grow all of us, and you inspire all of us. So may your star continue to rise. May you continue to doing the things that were never thought were possible. May you continue to break the glass ceiling, and may there never be a ceiling for you to break anymore.
Yeah, I'm very tall. I've been breaking ceilings and lights.
Yeah, so thank you so much for your time, and I hope that all of us are inspired from this conversation. That regardless of where you come from, all things are possible. Regardless of what you think you cannot achieve, all things are possible. And thank you so much. And I think I'm inspired, and I'm not even a netball player, but I'm a human being that get to interact with you on a regular basis. And I've seen, the hard work that you put in. I've seen the discipline that you have. I've seen the determination that you have, and I hope out of all of those things, others are able to, continue doing the things that you're doing, and may you continue to hold the torch, for those that are coming behind you. May you continue to hold the door wide open for those that are coming behind you, because none of us are self-made, right?
Yeah.
I think all of us at some point need somebody or needed somebody to hold the door open for us.
Yep.
And may this continue to be, the way that we live our lives. May you continue paying it forward.
Thank you.
Keep shining, and I appreciate you for everything that you do.
Thank you, Nnusi.
This was Dumisani Chauke, our guest for today, and I hope you've been inspired by the work that she does and who she is. And let's do it again next week. This is Conversations with Nnusi. Please follow us on Instagram. Sorry, please follow us on YouTube. It's Conversations with Nnusi, and Spotify. It's Nnusi. Keep shining.